So we just discovered something that is gonna be a game changer for breeders out there, especially PvE, PvP, maybe not so much, but this is massive, and I'm wondering whether it was intended by Wildcard or not with the RNG chance, but pay close attention because you're gonna want to do this. All you need is, of course, bisons, and you're gonna need a male and as many females as possible as you can get out in your base, because this is gonna make it a lot easier for you. At least one ice wyvern, because you're gonna need that for storage. At least one cryopod, and every single imprint requirement you need for your babies, and you're really going to want a lot for this, so it might cater to perhaps breeders who are ready and set with plenty of imprint requirements, noting that we've only got extraordinary kibble because extraordinary kibble substitutes as any other kibble tier below it, and at least one baby bison out at any time. There's a few different rules to this that you're gonna want to pay attention to, and I'm sure you probably know this initial setup by now. As long as there's a baby bison out, any female in proximity can be milked, and you want to do this. You want to milk every single female you can, and you're going to want a lot of milk. As much milk as you possibly can, which, depending on your settings, you can remilk anywhere between 15 minutes on single player all the way up to 45 minutes on official, which you can remilk once the cooldown timer has hit 0. You can, of course, if you don't know, cryo up your baby bison, and then once you think your timer's up and ready, uncryo your baby bison, and you'll be ready to milk your bisons once again to keep that milk flowing. Get your bison milk stored on an ice wyvern, which will give it refrigeration timers, which is around 4 days on normal rates. Or if you're lucky enough to be on tech tier, slap a tech trough down near a cart saddle and simply drop the milk in a bag on the saddle, to which it'll be auto transferred to your trough to be refrigerated there instead. But you do get surprisingly half the time of an ice wyvern, so you might still want to go for the ice wyvern if you can. And once you're comfortable, you've got plenty of milk set up in your ice wyvern, which you'll see quickly fill up if you've got plenty of females ready to milk. You're pretty much ready and set to go now, and I see you looking at this wyvern thinking, hang on a minute, we already know what the wyvern game is all about, but I'm going to try and explain it step by step to provide a full explanation on how this works. So once it hits its imprint requirements, and providing it's asking for wyvern milk, again, I'm sure you probably know this by now, by feeding it bison milk, you'll find a 10% growth. And this is, by the way, emulating 2x rates on official. Once your wyvern receives its final imprint to get to 100% and re-release, to be asked for a new imprint, which hopefully will be milk once again. If it's milk once again, even though it's 100%, you can still give it that 10% maturation, which you probably already know about. This has been doing the rounds. A few people mentioned this to us. Of course, if you get an imprint that isn't milk, you've got to do that imprint first. Complete that imprint, re-cryo, and keep uncryoing until it asks you for milk again. And we'll keep going. There we go, until we've been asked for milk again, giving us another 10%. Getting your wyverns to 100% super duper quick, right? So anybody that's been raising wyverns so far, you've probably already seen this, right? Because milk's a common requirement to get your ice wyverns to 100%, or any wyvern to 100%. Super duper easy. But what we didn't know up until today, when I just discovered it on official, is any other creature can ask for bison milk too. Meaning you can give any raised baby that 10% maturation on top, and here's us actually doing it on official. But of course, with anything other than a wyvern beyond a cuddle and a walk, you could be required to feed it any of the berries, any of the meats, kibble. So it could be cycling through a lot of imprint requirements before you finally get that bison milk. And it's a wonder whether it's hard-coded into every creature that's raising, or you need to be in the presence of a bison for it to require bison milk. And because of the amount of imprint requirements, lesser creatures aren't really worth the effort, I guess, cycling through until you get that bison milk requirement. But does mean things that take an absolute age to raise, like a Karka, even on 2x, once you get that imprint requirement, easy raises for everyone, which is massive. I do think after a load of testing, there's actually something related to this, and that is by having a 100% imprinted baby bison within range, I'm pretty sure creates the scenario, which means this could be a bug, because in testing, I couldn't get the bison milk in single player to be a required feed. I had 100% imprinted a baby bison and then did the cryo trick for it to ask for a new imprint requirement. And then after that, the bison milk requirements started to come in force. Or it's something that Wildcard are intending and have just got to get perfecting. Because if this is legit, this is an absolute game changer for ARK breeders out there. I'm kind of thinking it might be RNG and we just got super lucky or unlucky with our bison milk feeds rather than the bug that I just mentioned. But either way, we've got extended periods sometimes getting the milk requirements on creatures, which, as said right at the start of the video, you're gonna need a heck of a lot of imprint requirements. But at least for Karka and Giga Raising, this is massive. So whilst I continue to try and rotate these imprints to try and get this Karka to 100%, as I know you're going to be doing now, is it worth it? Is definitely a question, because it takes a long time sometimes to get that bison milk requirement. But I guess if you get lucky with the bison milk requirement on your creatures, you're laughing. The question is, of course, what happens if you don't have bisons around and maybe there's some mechanic here that's actually forcing the bison milk requirements instead? I get the feeling it could be the latter, because how on earth are you going to imprint anything without bison milk if you haven't got bison milk? So yeah, there you go, knock yourself out, enjoy baby raising. It just got a heck of a lot easier. I get a feeling the plot might be unraveling a bit more with this one, but you know what to do. Comment below what you think about this. Until the next one, my name is Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, but as always, peace out.